Have you ever looked at a map and felt a strange certainty that something is missing? That the neat lines and labeled territories are telling only part of the story? What if an entire city, a civilization, was deliberately erased? Not by sand or time, but by cartographers who simply refused to draw it in. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Unexplained Archive. Our story begins not with a discovery, but with a rumor. In the late 19th century, as European explorers pushed into the vast, arid expanse of the Kalahari Desert in southern Africa, whispers began to circulate. Whispers of a massive stone city, hidden in the remote, trackless regions. The reports were persistent. In 1885, a Canadian explorer and prospector named Gilarmi A. Farini claimed he'd found it. He gave a lecture to the Berlin Geographical Society, published a book, and even exhibited photographs. He described a great, half-buried wall of immense, mortared stone blocks, stretching for miles, forming the arc of a colossal amphitheater. He called it the lost city of the Kalahari. And then nothing. Official expeditions sent to verify his claims found only strange, natural rock formations. The maps were drawn without it. Farini was labeled a fraud, a teller of tall tales, and the story was filed away as a curious footnote in the history of exploration. But the mystery refused to die. Because the indigenous San people, the first people of the Kalahari, have oral traditions that speak of a great city built by their ancestors, or by a people who came before. They spoke of a place of stone, now silent, swallowed by the dunes. Their stories were not of discovery, but of memory. And then, in the 20th century, aerial surveys began to reveal something startling. Beneath the sparse vegetation, the eye of the camera saw what the eye on the ground could not: vast, geometric patterns. Grid-like formations, circular structures, and long, straight lines that looked nothing like nature's work. These weren't the romantic ruins of towers and temples Farini described, but something arguably more mysterious: the ghostly footprints of a massive, organized settlement. So, what are we dealing with here? A natural geological wonder? An elaborate hoax? Or the traces of a culture so old, so different, that we struggle to recognize it as a city at all? The most compelling theory comes from archaeologists who suggest this might represent the remains of the world's oldest city, not built of towering stone, but of earth, wood, and social complexity. A ceremonial and trading hub for ancient cattle herders, a metropolis of its time that left behind not crumbling walls, but rearranged earth, stone circles for livestock, and midden piles that tell a story of a large, settled population. But then, why the resistance? Why would maps refuse to acknowledge it? This is where our mystery turns paranormal. Some researchers propose a more unsettling idea. They point to the strange electromagnetic anomalies reported in the area, the disorientation felt by explorers, and the sand stories that speak of the place as being asleep or waiting. They wonder if the city isn't just lost, but somehow hidden. That it exists in a state of perceptual ambiguity, visible only under certain conditions, from certain angles to certain minds. That the mapmakers didn't ignore it. They literally couldn't see it, their rational minds filtering out what shouldn't be there. It's a place, they say, that chooses who finds it. As an engineer, I look for the pattern in the signal. As a storyteller, I listen for the truth in the legend. The silent city of the Kalahari sits at that crossroads. It challenges our definition of a city, of history, and of discovery itself. Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't its location, but our own need to categorize it, to force it to be either a proven fact or a dismissed myth, when it might be something in between, humming at a frequency we're only just beginning to sense. Maybe some things on this earth resist being pinned down. Maybe they exist to remind us that the world is still wide and strange and full of stories that the maps have yet to learn. This has been the Unexplained Archive. Our stories are produced by Light Knot Studios. Find more threads to pull at lightknotstudios.com.